At a time when they should be planting crops back home, instead they're in a strange place trying to drive the framework of a new home into the drought-dried earth. And they are far from alone. Their dwelling will be a replica of the thousands put up here so far this year. There are so many displaced people that Baidoa is 4 times the town it used to be. The arrival of 600,000 hungry souls has quadrupled the population. The worst drought in 40 years forced them to trek here, where salvation is at hand thanks to aid agencies like our hosts from the International Rescue Committee. But sadly, some of the new arrivals cannot be saved. An outbreak of measles is exacting a toll among the malnourished young. These are the parents of 16 children who died in the space of a week in a camp of 150 households. They've come together to mourn and to pray. This mother's 18-month-old daughter, Diko, died in her arms 2 days before this gathering. You tell her I'm very sorry. Fatima told us that she and her 7 children had to walk for 4 days to reach Baidoa. She said, of course, she remembered previous droughts, but none as bad as this one. It killed all her cattle and goats. She has no idea what the future holds. This is the edge of town, and what lies beyond is bandit country controlled by the Islamist militants of Al-Shabaab, which is Al-Qaeda's deadliest affiliate. Neither the Somali government nor the aid agencies dare use this, the main road to Mogadishu, which means everything has to be flown in and out of Baidoa. As you approach, it's clear that the 5th rainy season in a row is failing to live up to its name. Over the last 2 years, the familiar harbingers of hunger, drought and conflict have been joined by other culprits that are making matters worse. Swarms of crop-eating locusts, the coronavirus pandemic, and of course, more recently, the war in Ukraine. The under-5s are the most vulnerable, and new arrivals are examined at clinics where scales and measuring tape all too often reveal babies in the red zone. The worst cases end up in hospital. This 2-year-old boy is recovering. When he was admitted, he was bloated by kwashiorkor, the condition that causes a distended tummy, the telltale sign of starvation. These images are all too reminiscent of 2011, the last time a famine was declared here. Not much has changed since. The 3-decades-long war with Al-Shabaab has prevented the kind of development like the digging of deeper wells that would help people resist the drought and provide for their children. The climate is changing, but Somalia is not.
Famine is, on the edge, I think. I hope the world will be keeping an eye to Somalia and help as soon as possible.
All the mothers we spoke to told similar stories. Sustained drought killing off livestock and crops to the extent they could no longer live off their land. All of them fear they'll never be able to do so again. But they at least have made it to safety. If it doesn't rain, there will be many more arrivals and mouths to feed.
The situation is actually very significant, very serious, very urgent, and in UNICEF we worry that we might be seeing catastrophic increase in mortality among children. And that's why we really have to scale up the response.
What's happening in Somalia is shocking, but not a shock. Over the last 6 months, there have been repeated warnings. This is one of those countries where no matter how bad things are, they can always get worse. John Irvine, News at 10, Baidoa, Somalia.